Hey, No DQ Galaxy, the No DQ Predictions League champion, SonGoshuaku's here, ready to defend the title. After 8 months of predictions, I was finally able, during SummerSlam 2019, able to become the champion. So why not use the WWE title itself, well, replica of it, to go ahead here and defend my championship. So, let's get started here. Who will be the 24/7 champion by the end of the night? I'm pretty sure it's R-Truth. That's my prediction. Moving on. The WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross defending their titles against Fire and Desire, Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville. So I actually just got through listening to Lillian Garcia's Chasing Glory podcast with Nikki Cross. Definitely recommend it if you want to learn a lot more about Nikki Cross behind the scenes of WWE. But in that, she talked very in depth about the bullying that she went through, being called ugly, all through like middle school and high school. And I guess that's what they're taking into this storyline by having, by booking Mandy Rose to be the bully. So I'm totally fine with that storyline as long as Nikki Cross and Alexa win, because if not, it's going to be a whole deal of WrestleMania 19 with Booker T and Triple H. Like, why even go there if you're not going to have the babyface triumphant? So yeah, I got Alexa Bliss and Nikki retaining. Next up is the WWE Cruiserweight Championship match. Drew Gulak, I am choosing to retain the title. I don't follow 205 Live, but it seems like he has a lot of momentum going for him, so that's why. Next up is the Intercontinental Championship match. Shinsuke Nakamura with Sami Zayn against The Miz. Given Nakamura's history and how he's been booked on the main roster, would not surprise me for The Miz to win this. But hopefully they give Nakamura something, so I'm going to choose Nakamura here because they exactly haven't really booked Miz that strong this year either. So Nakamura to retain. United States Championship match, I choose AJ Styles to successfully defend the title against Cedric Alexander. I'm pretty sure it will be an awesome match, but let's face it, this match is just here so that it gives both gentlemen something to do, and hopefully Cedric at least looks strong in defeat. What's that phrase they like to use? A very game Cedric, right? Next up, the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. Big E and Xavier Woods defending the titles against the Revival. As much as their gimmick is about top guy doing top things, it is clear that the WWE does not book them like that, and does not see them like that. Therefore, I am choosing Big E and Xavier Woods to retain because I believe they're going to want to ride the New Day out as champions as long as possible, at least till Kofi is champion. King of the Ring, despite not being this Sunday. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this. They're showing like the tweet it's going to be this Sunday, but then on Raw, that's the graphic shows on Raw. Regardless of which, it's very easy to see Baron Corbin winning this because he will so definitely kill being the heel king. This guy gets crowd heat every time he steps foot out in that ring. But I feel like it's been made almost too obvious that he's going to win. So I'm going to choose Chad Gable. Honestly, that's probably not even the safe bet to make, but I'm going to go with Chad Gable because he needs it more, and I can only hope that the WWE is going to do this, something with this to push Chad Gable, and he's just not a plot device to basically get over Corbin, who I think will be just fine even if he doesn't win King of the Ring. As long as he can keep going out there and annoying the crowd, I think WWE will always make sure they have a spot for him on TV. What we got next here is the Raw Tag Team Championship match. Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman defending the titles against Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. Given how much Ziggler has lost, especially last pay-per-view against Goldberg, it's crazy I'm saying this, but I am predicting Ziggler and the glorious Bobby Roode to retain, or I should say Robert Roode, to retain the Tag Team Championships, because let's face it, anytime they take these main event players, put the titles on them, it's just a plot device to put over their main event. So I see Seth and Braun not being able to cooperate or whatever. They're probably just going to lose the title that way. All right, let me go ahead and bunch this one together here. The SmackDown Women's Championship and Raw Women's Championship matches. So I choose Bayley and Becky Lynch to retain their titles because let's think about it. Sasha Banks, if she wins the Raw title, are they really going to have her face Bayley coming up at Survivor Series, which is taking place near my hometown when they just became this heel tag team? Don't think so. Sasha Banks versus Charlotte Flair, it's like been there, done that. And then likewise, if you switch it, Becky Lynch retains the title, takes on Charlotte, once again, been there, done that. The only fresh match we have here in this whole ordeal of the 4 horsewomen that hasn't been spammed a lot on the main roster is Becky Lynch and Bayley. So I believe they're going to retain their titles and build to a match for Survivor Series. Next up, we have the match that is now no DQ. Roman Reigns versus Erick Rowan. But hey, Erick Rowan always find a way to get in these big matches, man. Shout out to Erick Rowan. But that being said, it's hard to pick against Roman Reigns, so I am going with Roman Reigns. I mean, I guess you could have Erick Rowan win by having Daniel interfere and reveal it was him who was the mastermind, but realistically, I'm assuming they're going to have Roman get the win and get laid out by Eric and Daniel Bryan afterwards. The WWE Championship match, Kofi Kingston defending the championship against Randy Orton. I believe Kofi Kingston wins this easily. They just dragged it out for whatever reason. There's only 2 people that I think is going to take that title off of Kofi Kingston. Either Finn Balor, and that way they can have Demon versus the Fiend for the main event for the 2 main titles going at it at Survivor Series, or they'll have Brock Lesnar take the title off of Kofi Kingston, so that way they could have Beast versus the Fiend. I see those being probably the 2 biggest main events they probably could pull off for Survivor Series. So yep, Kofi Kingston to retain that title, and in the main event, the Universal Championship, Seth Rollins against Braun Strowman. Another classic case here where I feel WWE is honestly booking themselves into a corner. I think it's too soon for Bray Wyatt to be getting a championship. Let him get a bunch of wins and then build towards that. Elsewise, I'd be like, let Strowman win this and have him get a nice lengthy reign as champion and build to that. And despite that Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt have the potential for the best story because you can play off of their history in the Wyatt family, I feel like we're going to have to go with Braun Strowman losing yet again the Universal Championship match, because I say you might as well let Seth Rollins retain the title, because despite the fact that he, outside of AJ Styles and Strowman soon, he's mostly spent most of his time in the Universal title picture facing Baron Corbin and Brock Lesnar. Seth Rollins has indeed had his lengthy reign all year as Universal Champion for the most part, so he can afford the loss next month in Hell in a Cell against Bray Wyatt. And there you go. Those are my official predictions to defend the Predictions League Championship for No DQ. Hopefully I go ahead and retain, and we'll see how it looks. Till then, everyone, take care and have a blessed weekend. And if you want to follow me on social media, all my links will be in the comments below.